This was a trade that I was just not expecting. Mark Williams going to the Los Angeles Lakers for Dalton Knecht. When you look at it, does the trade work? Yeah. Like, let's just break it down. And I think everybody's done a good job. The Lakers trade Cam Reddish and Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht's fantastic and a 2030 pick swap. So Charlotte gets a pick, and then they get to choose the 2030 pick for Mark Williams. And when you look at this, I think for that deal, you were not going to get a better center if you were Los Angeles than Mark Williams. Not only that, you get Mark Williams under roster, like team control, because you get his restricted free agency. Mark Williams has missed some time in his career due to injury, specifically in his foot. Now, I think this is a deal that they essentially acquired 2 firsts, the right to swap first for Mark Williams, Dalton Knecht, who is under contract for the next 3 years, and Cam Reddish, who is an expiring deal. And they've built up their first-round picks over the next few years pretty good if you're Charlotte. And the trade opens up a roster spot for Los Angeles as they're $3.8 million below the second apron. And to me, I think if you look at the last 10 games, Mark Williams has been averaging 20, 12, and 1.5 blocks per game. He's extension eligible this summer. And the biggest thing with Mark Williams is if you look at his ability to shot block and protect the rim, run up the court, like he's actually a really good big man. One that I thought was paired well with the Hornets future. But Dalton Knecht is a really good player that fits perfectly in between LaMelo and Brandon Miller. They'll have Trey Mann. Hopefully they'll resign as like this, Swiss Army knife off the bench. So definitely, if you're the Lakers, you're definitely excited about the fact you got yourself a big man who not only is going to be able to serve you this season, but he's going to be your big man if everything works out as the foreseeable future. Because for his career, he's a guy who averages right now in about 23 minutes a night, 11.5 points, 62% from the field, and 8.5 rebounds a game. And he's a guy who last year averaged 13 and 10 and just under two blocks a game. And I really like him. 7 foot, like a 7'5" wingspan, I believe it is. Just a really solid player that I think is really good and is going to help this team out when you look at what they're trying to do. Because, yeah, they did lose some of their depth chart this season doing this trade in terms of their front court, or not their front court, but their wings. But this is what they have to do. They're going all in on the last year or two of LeBron's career. Obviously now with Luka Doncic on board, you have to assume that making a move like this is rational. You're trying to win. You're trying to do what you believe is going to allow your team to be championship contenders, not just this season, but for the foreseeable future. And I really like it, especially from the aspect of the Hornets. If you didn't feel like paying Mark Williams or you felt like he was replaceable, then you did the right thing and not give him the deal that you thought he was deserving of, if that makes sense. So to me, yeah, I like it, as Mark Williams who is a really solid big man. But you know that the Hornets are clearly in a gap year, that he was going to be extension eligible, and it just might not be on the same timeline anymore that they're on. Sometimes that's what happens. It's unfortunate, but that's the nature of the beast. And to me, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with his extension. What is he going to be worth? Because I do think he's a valuable basketball player. I do understand that there could be obviously two different ideas of what he should be making, because they could believe he's worth one number and he could believe he's worth the other. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of all this? And if you guys are on the same page as me, I'm definitely intrigued by how this is all played out, because now if you look at the Lakers roster, you assume Mark Williams with Jackson Hayes backing him up, Rui Hachimura, and you'll have Christian Wood, Markieff Morris, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James at the four. I guess Christian Wood's power forward center, but Jared Vanderbilt can be a backup power forward. LeBron can be a backup power forward. LeBron's probably starting at small forward, unless they really want to run. I think they're going to go big and they're going to run Luka, Dorian Finney, probably Luka, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and Mark, maybe when they're fully healthy, or Mark, Rui, LeBron, Austin, Luka, and then you put Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Shake Milton all off the bench. But I do like him for what this team is set up to do. It's pretty solid. That's where I want to hear your guys' opinions. If you guys are like me and agreeing that for what they needed to do, I think they did a good job and got themselves the best possible big for the value out there. Like, I don't think they were going to get anyone rashly. Like, I just didn't think this move was in the cards, and that's what makes it even better. Obviously, I'm not going to give them credit for the Luka Doncic trade, because we all knew that how that all just came down in very interesting circumstances. But I think the idea of this being sort of, I don't know, similarly an interesting setup for the Lakers, that seems like LA always gets bailed out. Good for them. I'm not a Lakers fan, nor am I a Lakers hater. I do think it's weird that people who hate on the Lakers, bro, first off, this is a child's game. Let's understand there's more important things in life than basketball. But it does seem like they've gotten very lucky in terms of roster construction, and certain players have just ended up there very conveniently. Nothing wrong with that, but you can say they do get lucky, it seems. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys think of this deal? Was it an overpay? Good value? Are you upset if you're a fan of either team? Because I can get behind the idea of you being upset if you're a fan of the Hornets and you thought Mark Williams was the answer to your center position, because he kind of fit well with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. But at the same time, I understand 2 first-round picks is hard to give up, So that's where I'm always down to hear what you guys have to say, and what would have you guys have done if you guys were the Lakers or the Hornets? Because, as I said, very interesting time in the NBA, and I honestly thought Dalton Knecht would have not been moved, but I guess with Luka Doncic now, you gotta do what you gotta do, and a move like that is one you have to do if it means you're gonna be able to win a championship, I guess. Hey, if they get another championship out of this, kudos, bro. Kudos. I think everybody would hate the Lakers even more, but everybody would be like, oh, it's a fake ring. I'm not even kidding. We all know that's what everybody would say. I will say, no matter what, people will hate the Lakers, even if they did something fair. Not saying that, like, what's happened here is fair, but I'm just making the joke that, like, people are just funny with how things work out. But let me hear you guys' thoughts. I rambled on long enough. I'm gonna let you be. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Peace.